If I recall correctly, you were around 4K, and you want to
Yeah,
focus on carry.
yeah, like cores, especially like mid, I prefer. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
I used to play a lot of offlane, and I kind of gave up on that.
hmm
Like I got to 4700 with the just Earth Spirit. I gave up on that. I got there again with Oracle, and I gave up on that, and now I'm 4100.
Okay. Yeah. So those two heroes are like really good in their own rights, but um, they're like I don't know, kind of gimmicky. Well, they're gimmicky in the sense that like you can
That's why I
win
didn't.
games without
Yeah,
being like super good, which isn't a bad thing. Like it's not horrible, but if you don't, if you don't play those heroes after playing them, spamming them, you're not going to be as good. Which is, it's fine. That's part of the deal.
that's exactly why I stopped playing so much Earth Spirit.
hmm Yeah. Like the nice thing about if you're good with Earth Spirit, then that just means you're good mechanically. But he's still a weird hero in that right. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so you've been playing a lot of like Glitch. Okay, this is all over the place. Are you like still deciding on where you want to go with like your hero pool or what role you want to play?
I really just really want to get at laning mechanics, so probably just mid
Okay.
because I feel like that's what I'm super weak at. Like I know I'm super weak at laning
Okay. Yeah, landing is pretty important.
unless I'm
Um.
playing Broodmother pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, that's that's like cheating though. Let's be real.
Yeah, it really is cheating.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple things. Since you play like pretty much everything from what I'm seeing, I do recommend that you just stick to mid. If you want to, get good at it. I don't know. There's like this stigma with picking one role and sticking to it that people have. I don't know if you have that or not, but yeah. Um,
Sometimes, yeah, I like to spam it, but the problem with pubs is that you don't always get it. But lately, yeah, I haven't been picking mid. I've just been
mhm.
lazy.
Yeah, no, for sure. In that case, you can just have like a backup role. Like you could be a mid or a carry player, and then you can play support if you don't get one of those two. But either
Yeah.
way, unless you have like no questions to start out with, we can just jump into a game.
Okay. Um, I don't really have a lot of questions. I just want like yeah, like yeah, I already told you. I want to know like just if anything you can find that I'm doing really wrong,
Okay, sure. Do you have any
or
game in particular that you want to
suggestions
watch?
too. Replays.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't really like for the past couple games I played. I've just been tilted, and just not
Okay.
playing well. And I can if I watch those replays, I could tell you easily like I was just playing like shit.
Okay. Well, either way, I think it's beneficial to look at those. But
Maybe the
um,
Invoker game because I was mid,
okay,
and
sure.
no, I don't think I'm that bad of an Invoker.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's look at it then.
I usually do cross Exort, but I went cross Wex this game because of Medusa and Wraith King. But I
Yeah,
feel like that's a
it's
mistake. Just because,
no.
I mean, it's a good idea to go Wex, but I'm more comfortable on Exort.
Okay,
And
so
I just feel like if I play Exort, I'd have a higher chance of doing better.
yeah,
Even
maybe
though
that's true.
Wex
Wex is
would have been
definitely
better.
yeah, Wex is definitely way better in this game. There's some truth to what you said though, where like if you're more comfortable in Exort, then it's a slightly better. But you definitely want to like if you play Invoker, you need to be able to play both styles for sure. Especially at your level, like when you're past 3K or whatever, you need to start being able to play your hero in different ways, especially one like
Yeah.
Invoker. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
agree with that.
gonna share my screen. Okay, let me know if it's good.
Um, oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool. Okay. Hope it didn't crash. Looks like it might have. Off to a good start. All right, that would be a crash.
My keyboard's kind of loud. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. No worries. Okay. I wish I could see what you built in this game, but it's okay. No worries.
Yeah. As I said, it's been kind of tilty for the last like 500 MMR I've lost. So
hmm Yeah. Do you know what's causing that? Like, is it an MMR thing, or like the tilt? Sorry, I should have been more specific.
um, I don't know, man. I gotta just gotta stop tilting, man. I don't know. I always get
All
muted
right.
too. It's really hard because I always get muted, and because of that, like every time I do get part of a communication, I'll just get muted again. But I mean, I'm not blaming the system because of
No, yeah, the system
'cause
is
I got
like
muted
pretty
for a
good.
reason.
Part of like something that like tilts me personally is like if I am able to talk to my teammates and like I see them mess up, like I'm really tempted to call them out or whatever. Even though it's like really counterproductive and everyone knows that. I'd imagine you're somewhere in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that you don't want to do, and not just because like, oh, you want to be nice to your teammates or whatever. Like I don't try to sell that shit, but it distracts you from like trying to win, and that's obviously bad if you're trying to get better. Like you're somebody who paid for coaching, so obviously you want to get better, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then like you're better off just muting yourself, like unbinding your chat key, if it's something.
I
that's a
actually,
problem.
yeah, I actually did that. I unbound my mic key like last month.
Yeah.
After I got a week-long mute, I was like, I'm actually like it better this way.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. Like if you don't have the temptation there, it's big. Okay, I definitely recommend unbinding it. If you're someone who gets muted or has been muted in the past, like give yourself like a few months. Honestly, like you need a recovery period, something like that. But anyway, it's all minor stuff. Okay, start with standard items, good stuff. I usually recommend starting with exhort if you're going exhort, I guess, but you're going Wex in this game. But yeah.
Would you recommend going Alacrity, even going Wex? I know it used to be the build, but they nerfed it. Would you still go Alacrity and Wex build or no? Cross Wex, I mean.
I am not sure, to be honest. I would have to check a Weehaw replay. I don't like have Invoker mastered or like or know the nuances in his laning phase or whatever. I can tell you what you're doing wrong, but yeah.
It will make a huge difference that way, I think.
Yeah,
it's 10 damage though.
Yeah, it's all about like your fundamental skills and like how you play the lane anyway. Okay.
A whole lot of shit just happened there, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah.
So already, the first thing that I see that's like kind of wrong.
Oh, I fucked up. Oh man, I hit invoke before I think I didn't invoke cold snap. Maybe I'm wrong here, but
yeah.
I did hit invoke.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe, but either way.
So I think it's a replay.
Your camera position here is really bad. Like you're not looking at anything. You're looking at your hero and like this pathway here, but there's like a whole unexplored area here that you're not looking at. So like this is your camera right here, and like the only way you can see these heroes right now are like by looking at the map, and that's obviously much less good than doing this. You should naturally like when you play Dota, you should naturally be curious as to like what people have gotten for items. So like here, if you click on these two heroes, you can see Medusa. She's going Wraithband, very standard. She has one set of regen. She didn't get pooled. You can see Legion Commander is clearly jungling. She only has regen as well, or one set of regen as well. You can see Tiny has Stout Shield, a ward. That's important information. So it's not just bad because like you weren't looking at the fight or like where they could be. It's also bad because you're not like allowing yourself to access this information, and that's really important, right? Because like if you know certain items are on certain heroes, then you can make decisions based on that. So okay, so because of that, you were like a little bit scared right away, and you're not hitting anybody right now. Okay, so let's just watch this fight and then talk about it after. Okay. Cold snap there. Right. So there was a lot of shit that just happened. That was not good.
Yeah, it was a big rune fight.
So
and, if I had cold snap at both, it would have been different, but I probably still wouldn't have played out well.
Yeah, well, it would have been okay, right? Like, you did a couple of things wrong. Like the first thing was you didn't invoke cold snap, which is fine. But even then, like that's a huge mistake, obviously. But you could still recover. My biggest problem with this fight is you didn't choose the right targets like multiple times in a row. Like not only right here, you didn't take advantage of these guys being too far up. Like you should have been right-clicking sooner, so you get more damage. Should have been on Medusa, ideally, because these two heroes are not a threat, and they're also harder to kill. So you should just be right-clicking Medusa here, instead of going on Lich. Like Lich is the farthest one back, right? Like your teammates have no chance of actually getting to Lich. So you should be focusing the ones that your teammates can hit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a pretty big deal.
Because it makes no sense to hit Lich. Nothing was going to happen with him.
Yeah, like he's not just going to like let you auto-attack him to death, right? Like he's clearly going to run away. Whereas Medusa, like she has less options here. She has to run away, but like your teammates are already there. So that's all fine. And then here you should switch to Tiny a little bit sooner than this. Like rather than getting the last hit on Legion Commander there. That would have made a pretty big difference, I think. You guys get really close to killing Tiny because Spearbreaker made a nice play, but okay. So here this was fine, I think. I want to check one last thing, then we can move on. Okay. So your animation canceling is like a little bit sloppy. You should try to like clean that up a little bit. Like You know what I mean by that, right? Like with your right clicks.
Yeah, but when was I canceling it? Or should I have? Like when should I have?
Well, like in between every right click. So
So for the
yeah, like
backswing.
yeah, for the backswing. Yep. So you just cancel that with a movement command. You can lose DPS this way if you like mess up, but it's just objectively better if you do it well. And yeah, it just like
I
there's
didn't think about that.
yeah, there's a lot of time that you're missing out on, like movement time. And this is like I don't usually bring this stuff up, but you're high enough MMR to where I think you can handle fixing that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can also see the benefit of it. So.
I
Yeah.
feel like the only time I ever do that is if I'm jungling or playing on Druid.
Oh really? Okay.
I think it's like the only time I'll ever do that.
Yeah, no, you definitely want to do that. Like every hero has relatively significant backswing on their right click, so you always want to cancel it with the movement command. Even if like the best way to practice it is just like play a game of Dota, and you're gonna do it every time you right click. So that's the best way to get good at it. Yeah, no, it definitely like if you think about how many times you right click in a game as any hero, even a support, like you can save so much time by just canceling every backswing. It might seem really trivial, but it actually makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that's it. I miss so many last hits. That's something. It's hard. Like I don't know. It's just sometimes it just depends on the. For me, it's the enemy. So obviously, I need a lot of improvement there.
Yep.
Like if the enemy's just better than me at laning, I'll just get like 15, 20 last hits by like 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Which is horrible.
Do you practice
obviously,
CSing at all?
CSing, sometimes like on and off, like once a month, I'll just get like super try hard, open up a lobby, and just last it. But not very often. I probably should definitely do it more often.
Yeah, I think it should be like a daily thing actually. Like, just do it for like 5 minutes a day, like something really small like that. You don't have to go super
whenever I'm queuing.
Sorry, what?
It's like whenever I'm queuing or something, like just before and when I'm queuing.
I don't know if you can actually play custom games when you're queuing, but either way, like
yeah.
I was just saying, like as a warm up, like before you start playing, you can just play or do the custom game for 5 minutes. It's called Last Hit Challenge or something. But it's really good. Like it's worth the time investment for sure. Even if you just treat it as a warm up. Like I think that's really good practice.
Yeah, I do that more often.
Especially if you're somebody who just like has trouble CSing sometimes in lane. You're definitely at the MMR where like that needs to be getting a little bit better. So that would make sense if you have trouble in lane.
Just gonna write some of that stuff down.
Yeah, of course.
And like, I probably could have like harassed this Medusa more, maybe not.
Yeah, you could have. Like, you do want to prioritize CS for sure, but
Man.
yeah. So in situations like this, this is kind of like a lane theory thing. Okay, so your creeps are getting low at around the same time. Most players will prioritize CSing over denies, especially ones that are like higher MMR. So in this case, when you see Medusa right click and you try to like time your attack with hers, that tells me that you thought she was going to go for the deny. I think you should default to assuming that she's going to go for a CS, unless she does something before that tells you that she's like a deny-centric kind of player. So don't let yourself get faked out by this. Like, don't make it harder for yourself than it actually is. Do you know what I mean by that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's actually pretty clever.
Okay. Also, right here, there's a time where you could harass. So a lot of mid players, like especially range heroes, will go for the deny here because it's like that's all I have to do. She could like run back to her tower, I guess, but like who wants to do that? That's lame. So I think right here you should posture a little bit more aggressively. It's something you have to be careful of because like there could technically be a Wraith King sitting here or something, or not a Wraith King, but like I don't know, a fucking Lich or somebody who's roaming. You get the picture.
Yeah.
So you just have to like look at the map before you do this really quick. But in this case, like you would have been able to punish her a little bit. It wouldn't be like too significant by any means, but maybe you can catch her if she's on this cliff. You can cold snap her, and she'll take some creep damage. It's worth a try. So definitely just like posture more aggressively up the hill, and that way like you can also zone her off that CS. Let's pull the creeps back. That is good.
Man, the replays, man,
What?
still so buggy.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, all
All those
the
white
bullshit.
lines.
Yeah, I like don't even see these anymore. I was like, wait, what's he talking about? But yeah, no, I don't know. I've watched so many replays that
Jesus,
like
Bo.
I don't even notice anymore. It's
Oh yeah.
ridiculous. But yeah, I think it's a bowstring thing, but whatever. That's okay. Okay, so I don't have much to say about this. It was fine. I think she should have punished you like right here. Like basically your creeps are getting really low, and her creeps are still like relatively high HP. So you should have gotten punished here. She can just go for the CS and like posture really aggressively here. Kind of in the same situation that we were in, except with the roles reversed. So you should have taken a lot of damage here. You didn't, so you know it's okay. But a better player would have punished you. So in this case, like
There's
you
only like
should've
one
just
creep
stayed from-
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
there's
just,
only one
like,
creep
stand
left. You
farther
can just
back.
go aggressive.
Yeah. So you just need to stay a little bit farther back. Okay. She should. Oh my god, this guy sucks. Okay. So
So
when
you
you
have
do,
the time too.
yeah, like if he just attacks you instead of going for this deny, like you're actually like in trouble. Well, not really in trouble, but like you'll take a lot of damage and it won't be favorable. Instead of going for this deny, he actually should have just like attacked you a lot here because he had so many chances to. He missed out on like 3 to 4 attacks just because he went for that deny, or the 2 denies or whatever. Okay, yeah. So you punish him here. Good. Alright. Yeah, when it comes down to it, mid is really like all about who can control the creeps better. I mean, obviously there are some matchups where like you can just stand on somebody's hill and you win the matchup, but this one is not one of them. And in this case, like if either of you guys were a little bit more punish heavy on like creep aggro and stuff, it would have made a big difference. But yeah, okay. So this is fine. This is a pretty good punish. Like you basically give up the CS for a lot of damage on Dusa, which I think is completely worth it. You can make her use a lot of her regen here, so this is good. And also she has no mana for Mana Shield or Snake, so this is a good play. Okay. Spear Breaker's coming. Okay.
And I just missed all these last hits.
Yeah.
I gotta practice that.
Yeah, for sure. Like you need to practice CSing on its own, and you also need to practice like CSing while you're doing other things. And the second part comes like just by applying what you learned in custom games in an actual game. Because like it's one thing to be able to CS, but like you also need to CS while preparing for a gank, for example, like what's happening right here, or like while trying to pretend that you have teammates there or something like that, or while dodging a gank, stuff like that. Short-sighted. Yeah. If that makes sense. Okay. I'm trying to think of like how I could help with this. I mean, one thing that a lot of people don't do is they don't look at what their creeps are attacking. They just look at the health bars of like the enemy creeps. Is that what you do?
Yeah, I'd probably say yeah. I mean, I like to pay attention with the range creep attacking, but I'm definitely looking. Definitely, I agree. I'm just looking more at the health bars.
Yeah.
And just see when it's low.
Yeah, you should try to look at both
low.
because then you can like more accurately judge when a creep is getting within the last hit threshold. That's what helped me, like, when I made that realization, like, hey, I actually have this information, like, right in front of me. There's no reason to look at the health bars that much. But yeah, that's what helped me. I don't know if it'll help you, but yeah.
Short-sighted. Because it helps you time it, too.
No, for sure, because you can see, like, literally the animation, like, every sword swing is going to do certain damage at certain points, so that definitely helps you. So let's talk about this tornado. Okay. So what was your thinking when you did this? Like, what was the plan here?
Just drain mana, I guess. Just be an asshole. And I guys had no mana for EMP. Yeah. So I didn't do any math.
Oh, that's what. Okay, you wanted EMP tornado. Okay. Yeah. So the problem.
I might have been going for a CS there too. I don't remember if that was the case. I think I missed the CS actually.
Yeah, you did miss the CS. That's why I was asking.
With the tornado.
Yeah. If you had gotten the CS and you had mana for EMP, it would have been a great play. Like, it's very efficient. Yeah, so I'd imagine you were waiting. Okay, yeah, so this is it. You were waiting for EMP to come off cooldown right here, I guess. And then you went to Tornado. Yeah. Yeah, if you had EMP and you EMP'd and then Tornado, that would have been a great play. But now you're just like, you have no aggressive potential anymore, really, which sucks. So definitely like try to do the math. I think these are fixed mana costs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So most of Invoker spells are fixed, like in terms of mana costs. So that's something you can keep in mind. Like EMP Tornado always costs 275. So yeah. just before you do a combo or whatever. You can keep that in
Yeah.
mind.
I have a like Earth Sphere and Oracle, I know theirs, but
Yeah. Oh, if you're gonna be playing
dude, better
heroes,
than Master Invoker.
yeah, if you're gonna be playing these heroes a lot, you should try to pick up that stuff. You don't have to like go ham and study it like constantly, but just like check your tool types every once in a while. It doesn't hurt. Can only help. Okay. So here you need to be preparing for that situation that we talked about earlier, where like her creeps are dying and you have a lot of creeps here. This would be a really good time for EMP Tornado, because then you can also cold snap afterward if you have the mana. So like here you could just EMP Tornado, like you get this last hit, then you cold snap, and she's getting hit by the creeps and stuff. So that would be pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want to prepare for this kind of thing, and you can actually like force these situations too, as any hero really, unless like Medusa counterplays correctly. So do you know how to like double wave like this? How to?
Oh,
Like,
you
force
kill
it?
the range creep first, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You just like you push the wave slightly. Killing the range creep is a good example of that. So yeah, if you just force this double wave, a lot of players will not be able to read this, and you can just like cheese them pretty much. And it's not even cheesy, right? Because it's like a legit tactic. I probably shouldn't use that word, but either way, I think that's something that like a lot of people don't take advantage of, especially at this MMR. Whether or not it's because like they don't know that the tactic exists, or like they don't know like how to use it or whatever, but it's definitely really good. Like right here is a perfect time for it. Assuming you had the mana anyway.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I get it. Like I always read up on that. The Chak solo mid guide.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't actually read it myself though.
Whenever I read up on that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna utilize this stuff, and then within a week, I'm like, I don't remember anything I learned. But like double waving, like all the techniques, basically just boils down to me just trying to get last hits and not die, or to just get super aggressive. But there's so much more to mid than that.
No, it definitely is. There definitely is. It's one thing to know the tactics, but that's why I'm so I'm so into people spamming like certain heroes, like very basic heroes. That's why I tell every person and that comes to me for coaching. Like if they ask me for hero recommendations, I'm like Death Prophet, Zeus, Juggernaut, Sven, like just the most basic cookie cutter heroes you can think of. Because like there's so much fucking things in Dota that apply to every other hero. Like this double waving thing can be used by every hero in every matchup in certain ways. And just basic last hitting techniques and last hitting theory and all that. That's all stuff that applies to every game. So focusing on that stuff is much more important to me anyway. But yeah, I think you understand my point. So yeah, maybe this is something that you could just practice, when you're playing against ranged heroes or like even weak melee heroes on Invoker. You can just try the double wave thing and see if you can punish if they stay.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if it keeps going to tower anyways, you have a lot of creeps, so you can always harass them in the tower.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Even if they do play defensively, it's okay. It's not like you lose anything really. You lose
I don't think it's really a lot to get done right there though.
Yeah, no, no, this was not an ideal play by any means. I mean, you can like right click her, and that's it. She's just gonna live here. There are too many creeps here for you guys to fight. Yeah, this is a good play. I want to see what happened beforehand, but yeah. Okay, so she's actually double waving you right here, so you should kill one of these range creeps, and I guess that's like the best thing you could do. Also, when you're playing against Dusa, this might sound like patronizing or whatever, but you really need to make sure you don't get hit by Snake. This is like her only offensive ability, and it hurts like a bitch. As you saw here, it just like halved you pretty much.
Yeah.
So you really need to focus on dodging that as best as you can. Yeah. And you don't have to do it preemptively. You can always do it reactively most of the time. Just as soon as she casts it, you gotta put yourself in position to be the last bounce, or just dodge. Does that make sense? So right here, you should just run.
I hesitated.
Yeah.
This
Okay, so that's fine. Eat a tree, good stuff. Okay. So when you're I don't know the exact numbers, but there's a certain threshold that your hero, or a certain damage threshold that your hero has for when they can last sit under tower. I think it's 80 damage or something. So this has 85. Okay. So yeah, okay, so it's over like 80. I'd say like 85-ish damage. Let's see what the range creep's HP is here. Okay, so after you hit it, it was 18. Okay, yeah. So basically, like when your hero is low damage, like Invoker is in most games, like 63 damage at level 5 is pretty low, and you don't have phase boots or anything like that. You generally have to attack the range creeps twice before you get the last hit. Is that something you know?
Yeah, usually I do this if it's below 70 or hit it once. If it's between 70 and 80, don't hit it. Or wait, something like that. Like
yeah, I don't know.
If I'm playing melee, if I'm playing melee and I have a Quelling Blade, but normally I just go by like feel. I usually hit it once before, but I was just kind of I fucked up there. I think I was tilting for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, usually hit it once unless I'm just really strong.
Okay.
Like there, like.
So here's
There's no reason to not hit it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you definitely need to get these CS. These are pretty much free. Like it's much harder than CSing normally. But here you have a clue as to which creep the tower is gonna hit, because it seems random, right? Like there are 2 melee creeps that are really close to the tower, and then it just randomly hits the range creep. But this happens a lot actually. So how tower aggro works is it attacks units that are basically attacking the tower. Yeah, so it just attacks that tower that last one time. And these melee creeps were already switched to your creeps, so that's why it switches. So you have that kind of clue there, so you can know that, okay, I need to prep this range creep right away. Stuff like this really matters, because like all the CS that you're missing here is gonna bite you in the ass later on, for sure. Like
I gotta watch the creeps more. It helps with everything. It helps with laning, it helps with last hitting.
Yeah, and like I'm gonna like contradict myself here, but you also need to not tunnel vision on the creeps either. This is why I recommend practicing CSing. It's just because like you get some nice one-on-one time with the creeps. It's just you and the creeps, and you don't have to worry about anyone else, and you can practice this kind of thing. But it's really important, I think, especially if you're like focusing on laning in particular. So I'm not sure about Earn first. I think going phase boots is usually better, just because the extra damage and movement speed is really nice. I'm not sure whether or not you can take advantage of the earned damage. Yeah, okay, so this is what I'm deciding on here. Phase boots first is better because in order for your earn to be useful, you need to have charges, right? It's like okay without charges, but it's not great. And phase boots will help you get charges, so you can get earn afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
and it would help me dodge the snake.
Yeah.
In that last hit.
And chase if Spirit Breaker goes mid.
Yeah.
It's just better for laning, I think.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to get in first because it's hard. You can't really kill it right now.
Right.
So it'd be kind of useless until maybe I killed Lich or something.
Right. And you can definitely kill Lich with phase earn if you catch him.
And phase is just so annoying to lane against.
Yeah, it's super good in lane. So I'm trying to think of like what else. That seems fine. I think this is a good trade. I don't know if she had to use this necessarily, but I think going aggressive on her is just good in general. And like draining her mana, because like you have no offensive potential at this point. The only thing this prevents is that you can't go counter gank another lane if they are in trouble. Oh, that's another thing is you should have a TP right now. That should come out with your Sylvie mask or your brown boots rather. But yeah. So I think this is fine, going through the aggressive play, but just keep in mind that you can't go to another lane there right now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you want to try to plan for that stuff.
All right.
Okay. This is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Alright, well that's fine. Kind of a waste of mana, and you have no defensive potential now, so you can't Ghost Walk, which sucks. You gotta be really careful.
I think I only did that. I was pressured, I guess, because I had an invisible teammate.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
You really gotta think more before doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it's generally people just do have to think more. I need to think more in my Dota games. I let myself connect with emotions or whatever. Yeah.
It's like if someone's invisible next to me, can I actually do anything about it?
Yeah. Even if they're being stupid and you're saying tornado her, do it, dude, do it. This is a good idea. Trust me. You gotta think for yourself a little bit. Obviously, it's a little different if it's like late game or whatever, and you need to make a decision like right then, or you could lose. But here it's like a very low pressure situation, so you don't need to feel pressured. Okay. Definitely want to avoid just using Tornado like this. So.
Oh yeah, I think I was going for the last hit and I just brutally fucked it up.
Yeah.
I thought the creeper on the other side of the catapult or something.
Yeah, I think you don't have the mana to afford, or you can't afford to do this because you don't have any mana. Now you can Ghost Walk. I don't think. Yeah, 200 mana. So now if you had to for whatever reason, you could not, and that sucks.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's not like the biggest deal because they don't have the best ganking heroes, right? Because like they have a jungle Legion commander and a lich. Like those heroes are not very scary by any means. At least not until Legion gets blink. But yeah. So it's not horrible in this game, but you don't want to make a habit. Okay,
right.
Nice. You get the ward. Dodge the snake, good stuff. Right, yeah, this matchup kind of becomes like a bit of a wash now, because she can just stink out the waves, and you can't do anything about it. The only way you kill her is with like a gank and a nice EMP. But yeah, I guess you could like Haunt and Spearbreaker in, and that's fine, but either way.
Dire's bottom tower
Also, one thing I noticed is that like not only do you not have a TP, but you also don't have like or you're not actively moving your camera around. Like during these periods where like you're not doing anything, like except for sitting under your tower, you might as well just look around really quick and like check stuff out. This is pretty helpful, I think. Like you can see, oh, the Wraith King has an armlet already. All right, probably not killing that guy. Let's look top. Okay, Tiny has Soul Ring and Treads. Okay, I mean he's pretty tanky, but he's much easier to kill than Wraith King is. Lich has 650 HP at 9 minutes. Okay, that's an easy kill. Just stuff like that I think helps you like stay present in the game. Whereas like it's pretty easy to veg out and just like let the game go on its own. If you
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I need to do that more often. I like to always look at the minimap.
That's good.
But I should really move it around too, not just look.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but definitely look.
Yeah, definitely more than what you're doing now. The minimap is great, and it gives you a lot of information, but it's not as much as actually moving your camera.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, CTP here.
I think the screen's kind of frozen a little bit. Oh, never mind, it's good.
Oh, did you say it was frozen?
It's just like lagging a little bit.
Oh, okay.
It's fine now.
Okay.
Alright, it's in and out, I guess.
Okay, I'll restart it really quick. So, got no issues. Okay. So yeah, so this is fine. The first thing you should have done is click on Wraith King to see how much mana he has. I don't know if you actually did that, but it's okay if you didn't. Okay. Okay. Also, I think you could have EMP'd both of these heroes here. I could be wrong. I don't really know the range on EMP, but it seems like you could EMP right in the middle here. Okay. So like right here, you could Tornado Legion and then EMP right here, and I'm pretty sure you could get them both, and that would be really sick because you would drain, Wraith King's mana. He would have to Mango. Oh, he actually doesn't even have ult, so it doesn't matter. But either way, it would still be more efficient, I think.
I did it earlier. That's what you said?
No, if you EMP like in the middle of these two.
Oh, okay.
So like
I was typing up the mini-map stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine. So like right here, instead of placing it here, I'm pretty sure you hit the Legion and the Wraith King in that case. So that's a small adjustment. The Tornado is really good. That's what you want to do. Also, like your camera positioning in this fight kind of sucks as well. You should definitely like be looking more actively like towards where you think enemy heroes are going to come from. So in this case, like you already know where Legion is. You already know that she's in the air. That she used duel, and you already know that you're attacking her. You need to be like moving your camera down and just like seeing what's next. Like you have creeps here, so you have vision. So you need to be like, all right, Tiny is almost in stun range now, so I need to move slightly. Or like Wraith King is really low. I can kind of ignore him for now. Medusa's coming in, but I don't need to worry about her. Okay, Chain Frost is coming in now. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You just need to like move your camera and look at stuff, basically. Long story short.
So I can react quicker for everything. If we did, like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, it just makes your life easier in a sense. Like you do more work, so it's not actually easier, but
I didn't know the the ritual was coming at all until it came.
Yeah. And that's, you know, very valuable information, right? Like, maybe you could have summoned Force Spirits or something if you were an extra Invoker. You know, just to block the Lich Ult. You know, stuff like that. Like, I think that stuff is important. Really, the most important thing is the positioning of the heroes, but, so the other stuff matters quite a lot, too. Okay, so it's a boss fight. To the right click. Okay, yeah, he had armlet, so it's not really happening.
I think he died to the armlet toggle. Yeah, but I mean, that was more his mistake than my.
Okay, actually, wow.
Like, he could have lived if he didn't toggle.
Oh my god. That's embarrassing.
No, that was more him than me, though.
Yeah.
That was all him, really.
I think it's okay to go for the urn, just because, like, there's a chance he messes it up, and it's, like, pretty low commitment, or pretty low risk, but, yeah, it's so goofy as fuck, honestly. It is okay to go for the urn, though, I think, just because there's a chance he panics. And it's pretty low risk, I would say. Like, you lose out an urn charge, which sucks, obviously, but I think it was fine. It's definitely, like, his mistake, like you said, but yeah. Also, does Tiny have mana here? Okay, he has Store Ring. He actually... Interesting. I guess they theoretically could have killed you here if they tossed the Wraith King in. But this guy's clearly, like, not in the mental state to be using his abilities, so... yeah.
He had mana, yeah. I guess it could have.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty unlikely, right? Like,
that was a tiny. That's something I could improve on, too.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was just looking for, like, the double plays rather than the single plays. Oh, okay. So you buy TP here. Great.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So a lot of people don't go, or are afraid to go, like, ropes for whatever reason. Like, if they're going urn. But I think you could just go double rope here, and it would be okay.
I usually do, actually, because the damage and the mana pool, especially on Broodmother, like, just... I usually go double rope and then Oblivion. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah,
because I definitely had the money.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it here. I mean, you can always buy stuff before you die, and, like, the downside to the double rope build is you get an Oblivion staff slightly slower, but I think it more than makes up for it with the extra damage. So I would recommend that personally. You also, like, don't have to have any other consumables on you. Like, you don't need dust or anything like that in this game, so yeah. Okay, so let's look at this.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So where are you? You're smoking bottom right now. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower.
And there's nothing to do there.
Yeah, I
mean, just look at the map right now.
Look
at the map right now. I see Medusa's already mid. Someone's top.
Radiant's middle tower.
So I think we're looking for Legion in the jungle, but I think we actually saw Legion mid lane while we were in their jungle, and so it made no sense to be there.
Yeah, I think it's like the only reason it's acceptable is because Wraith King is off the map right now, and you can kind of assume the carry is most of the time going to go to his lane and just farm. At least, you know, at this level. This guy's not going to make, like, advanced rotations. It's not happening. He could be stupid, but yeah.
What could he have done? Before we continue, what could he have done? Rather than just, like, farming.
He could have, like, gone top to pressure Spectre. Like, basically, like, his hero is just better at hitting things than Spectre is at this point. So he could have done that. That's pretty much it, though. He would just farm up here instead for a little bit and try to get people to rotate. But that's pretty much it. It's not like, you know, he could just, like, you know, win the game by doing that, but it's something he could have done. This what he's doing here doesn't make any sense to me, personally. He has 3 cores here already. So, like, what's he doing here? Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so I think that this smoke is actually not bad. You know, assuming that Wraith King is a decent player.
And then once we see Wraith King, though, we just...
Yeah, at that point, you should just push.
That Legion would be there, but we knew she wouldn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should push bottom.
Yeah, if you just push bottom, that's like a really good tactical win for you guys, because you immediately force CPs in that sense. Because like all these guys are top side of the map. In order for them to get here, they have to either run this long ass distance, like they have to run a marathon to get here, or they have to TP. And if they TP, you win. Because they have to TP more than one hero, right? Like, if you TP into a Disruptor Invoker and you're not Wraith King, then you just die. I guess like Medusa could live with Stone Gaze too, but it's on cooldown. But yeah, either way, like definitely push this. Like a lot of Invoker players will get caught up in like trying to gank and, you know, run through the jungle even before they get the rogue card like you're doing. But
yeah,
really Invoker is the core just like any other hero. He needs to farm. If you don't scale, you're useless. Like, what are you gonna do if the game doesn't go perfectly for you?
That's the thing with my Invoker thing. Crossbooks, definitely I roam too much, and Exort. I just farm too much, even though I tend to do better on exert anyways. But still, like, another thing. I was playing against some 6K OD. I don't remember his name, but the one thing he was doing, he was just outmaneuvering us the entire game. And so I just thought about this. It's like if we push bottom and they TP to us, then we could just TP to mid and take that tower or something, or top. Like that's just like. So I know it's like our highest was 5K and there was a 6, and then that was me. Like just the standard like morning Dota at 4K, but it's just like everything. Like I just noticed, like he's just maneuvering the shit out of us. Like we couldn't do anything. Like we were stomping, but the other thing, he just won purely out of farming and moving. Like
yeah, no, it's crazy.
I don't remember what game that was, but it was a recent one. Like it was just like just brought to my attention just so much more shit that you have to learn about Dota at every level.
Yeah, and this is like all of that stuff is like it's on the surface too, but nobody sees it. Like it's very superficial. Like OD, you know, he moves, you know, his chess piece, so to speak, or his OD to top lane. He pushes here. He makes you guys run up. Then he TPs bottom, and he just does that again. You know, like this is something that I always talk about in my games. Is like heroes don't matter because like every hero can push waves by themselves. Even like Crystal Maiden, like she can do that. So like the best players in the world will be able to carry games just by pushing out waves like that guy did. So it's definitely like laning and that concept are the two most important things to improving, in my opinion. Obviously, like team fighting and stuff is important too, but those things are important, or the other things are important because like you can control them no matter what, pretty much no matter what anyway. Whereas team fighting, like you have to rely on your teammates to an extent. Yeah, there's like a bunch of other factors. Whereas like all this lane pushing thing, or all these lane pushing concepts are like pretty much the same every game. Obviously, some games you're gonna have more threats on the enemy team. Like in this game, if any one of these heroes gets a blink, it's harder for you to split push just naturally because they could blink on you at any time. But either way, like the ideas are still the same. Okay, so that's definitely like I'm glad you had an experience like that because like I think everyone needs to an extent.
Yeah, just oh man, there's so much to learn in Dota, man.
No, for sure.
And even then, I bet like 7K, 8K player could just out level him the same way.
Oh yeah,
not maybe
absolutely.
It's hard.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's even worse. Like playing against Arteezy and playing against like a 7K player, like there's a world of difference. You can tell, like just by playing against them. You can tell by watching the player perspectives. They're like, good is good. Like that's pretty much all it is. Yeah, no, it's definitely true.
This fight, I don't know if I should have canceled there or not. So I kind of just manned up.
Yeah.
And died.
Like you should have.
I think I died. Yeah, I died.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
You probably get tossed on here.
I even went back too.
Okay.
That I could have lived.
Yeah, you would have lived. Okay, so here's like
I still got cocky after I had armlet.
Right.
I
this
think
is like
I don't know. This was like a couple days ago.
It's like
It's
a
a long time,
conceptual
man.
thing. So these guys already have a bunch of heroes here, and you know that. Like they had already showed. So when you TP up here, this needs to be like a team thing. If you do it, I think the better play is just to be bottom already, or like push mid at the same time. Basically, like how do I explain this? So this complicated. All right, so when you TP up here, you're like sort of isolating yourself in a sense. It like Brewmaster is obviously here, so you're not completely isolated. But still, in order for your teammates to get here, they need to either already be here, TP to the T2, or TP to the T1 and be like a second behind you because of the delayed TP thing. So if you do this, you need to like really sync up your TPs with your teammates, and that can be pretty tough. So that's why I generally recommend just like you know, pressuring other lanes when this stuff happens. A lot of games are lost around this tier 1 tower or like a Radiant safe lane as well, just because like people TP and they give up a couple kills because they want to defend their towers. But really, it's better, like the best way to defend this tower is to pressure another lane at the same time, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like one of the things I was thinking about is always be doing something. Like
No, for sure.
that happens so many times. I can't tell you how many games I've thrown just teleporting somewhere. Or actually, another point I actually want to talk about was breaking high ground. Okay. Actually, I think the day I played as Invoker, I played against 3 Medusas in a row. Every game we couldn't do shit. I mean, this game I think we just got stomped. The other 2 games, like you just can't break high ground with Medusa. And if you do, with one lane, you know, this hero is Ember Spirit, Medusa, Sven. They don't give a shit about lane of racks because they'll just farm and just come back and kill you guys and win the game. Like it's just breaking high ground and just finishing out a game.
Dire's middle tower.
It's something I always struggle with.
Part of breaking
And obviously
high ground.
everyone else is practice too.
Yeah, no, that's not an easy thing to be good at. I don't even think like most 7K players like are amazing at it by any means. Like they're obviously better than everyone else, but yeah. So part of breaking high ground comes from having a stronger early game. There are a lot of games where like one team has a superior high ground defense, but they lose anyway because like the team with a better early game like suffocates them pretty much. So they get all the tier 2 towers and they ward up, they get a gem and they deward everything. And then these guys are confined to the base. And then like yes, it's possible to come back, but if you're playing well and you're actually like suffocating them, like constricting them, like you have heroes like all throughout this area, like a kind of like a wall kind of thing, and you're all farming like this whole part of the map, you know, basically all of it, you're naturally going to outfarm them. So even if they have a better late game, you're going to get more items than them faster, and then you like try to end the game at that point. That's like a super general way to approach high grounds. But it does mostly stem from like having a better early game. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thanks.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So what happened here? Okay, so you are Invoker. Gonna TP bottom in a sec here, I think. Okay, you wanna be careful with your TP position here. I don't think you get seen in this case, but definitely make sure that you're around this corner, like rather than just TPing right here. I guess you're barely gonna make it here, but the creeps could have seen you. That would have given it away. Yeah. Okay. Just here. Should lead with EMP Tornado. Oh, okay. So reason for leading with EMP Tornado is because he can press the attack your cold snap off in addition to your urn. So that's like a lot of your damage. So you need to drain his mana first. He might have mana anyway, even after the EMP. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. It might be really close, but either way, he should lead with it.
I think he lives anyways. If he doesn't, then I think... Oh, no, he dies.
Yeah, he does. Well, either way.
Still, though. I mean,
yeah.
After playing Earth Sphere, I should know, you know, Legion has a purge.
Yeah, for sure. So that's important, I think. Like, even though she died in that case, you should still, like, practice the best possible way to approach a kill like that. That being said, it wasn't that bad at all. It was just, like, your spells were a little bit out of order.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
I think that where it stems just from just not being comfortable with turning your MP. Even though I can always look at the tooltip and see the timing. Right. I think EMP they changes, so it's always the same, but Tornado changes.
Yeah, it's 2.9 seconds, I believe, every time.
I think Tornado's the first 6 levels you do it first. I don't know, but I can always look at tooltip.
Okay, so it's actually like all of them. You do it first. So the lift time goes from 0.8 seconds to 2.9 seconds. So I guess
So you have Ags.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so basically until you have max quas, then you tornado or you EMP first, until you have Ags and like second to last level of quas. But either way, most of the time you're gonna EMP first. Okay, so that makes sense. But you made this rotation here that like is a little confusing. Here you should just push the tower. Like just earn up your Spectre. You know, Lich and this guy are top breaking. So in order for you to like get the most out of this space and get the most out of this kill, is you just stay here and push the tower. This is a really important tower for sure. Like every tower is important, obviously, but this one is important because like it gives them access to their own jungle. Like these two camps become much less safe when this tower is down. So you should definitely focus on taking this. So like the opportunity, or what you would be giving up for if you went for this tower is the opportunity to find a kill in the jungle, but you're not even that strong anyway. Like I think the only hero you could solo realistically is Lich. So running through the jungle doesn't make any sense here really. You should definitely just hit the tower and like force people to TP down here. Stuff like this is really big, and if this happens like multiple times per game, you usually deserve to lose when you're playing, you know, that particular game anyway. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I just wanted the gank so bad and just didn't work.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah.
The
attack.
farm and push more. Definitely pushing more.
Yeah, pushing more 100%. And yes, this is just one of those ganks where it doesn't work, but it's like kind of destined not to. Like, if you only have one hero that you can kill and he's already top, like he's not just magically gonna appear bottom. If he like, it'd be such a fluke if he just TP to the tier 2. Because like, what reasoning would he have for TPing here, right? Like
Dire's top
he could
tower
ward
is under
the
attack.
lane, but like he wants to be sneaky about it, or he could like try to ward Roche.
A gift from the tempest of
So like he has no reason to, you know, just randomly go down here. So it's kind of like, I guess part of this is identifying kill targets too, right? Like basically what I like to do at the start of a game when I'm playing a hero like this, or any hero in fact, is look at what heroes that I can kill with which spells. So like this game, without Orchid, pretty much Lich is the only hero you can kill. But with Orchid, you can probably kill Legion, Tiny. You could get Wraith King's ult, or you could kill him if he doesn't have it. And you could kill Medusa as well if she doesn't have Mana Shield up, but still pretty hard. So do you get what I mean? Like you just need to try to identify kill targets, and that way, if you had done that, you'd basically know that like, okay, Lich is not in the bottom jungle, so I should just push this because like I can't get to Lich right now, and I can feasibly kill him. If you want to make the decision a little bit more simple like that. But anyway, long story short, just push stuff.
Radiant's bottom
That's
tower
the best
is
thing you can do in
under
Dota.
attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
So this
top
is
tower
a similar
under
rotation that we did last time. Here you should definitely just push again. But you decide to go top. So this is like a common theme, for sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, you just kind of
Dire's
TP up here
top
to do
tower
nothing.
has fallen.
Whereas you could have pressured mid like quite a lot here, and maybe force somebody to TP. So yeah, that's pretty big.
haste.
Oh man,
What?
it all makes sense, man.
All right, that's
Just-
good. I'm glad.
Just always pushing. I don't know. Like just the whole identifying what you can do to who and win. Without Lich was top, so you know my only target, so there's a push
Yeah, and it's not always going to be that simple, right? Like
or
sometimes.
farm.
Yeah. Yeah. Ideally, you push first and then farm if you can. Like, see if you can push anything, and if you can't, just like farm. But either way, it's not always going to be that simple because, like, you know, some games you're not going to have any kill targets. Actually, I would argue that in that case, it actually is more simple because then you can only push, right? Like you could push or farm, I guess. But yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So here. Okay, this is fine. Your camera positioning is really bad again.
Yeah.
You should definitely like trying to get this picture. Even if you just like throw your camera down really quick and then snap it back. I can't really find anything, I don't think. No, I can't. Okay. But either way, you can just like move your camera down and then immediately snap back to your hero, and that's okay. Yeah, you just need to gather the information better, especially when you're here with AoE spells. That is quite important. Other than that, I think your spellcasting was fine in this. Okay, Icewall was not fine. If you made like a slight adjustment here, it would have been great. If you just like casted it this way instead of the other way,
Yeah.
I'll explain.
Like draw it with hold control.
Yeah. So like, it's hard to draw like on a map, but anyway.
Oh, you can draw like I think. Oh, never mind. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I could draw it like this, but that's not. That doesn't look very helpful to me. But either way, like just with the cursor, like, and you could, okay, so you could finish the X here, and instead of like doing this part of the X, you could cast it this way, across the team, and that would have been really good because Icewall is like a fucking.
I think mine was just super defensive, kind of just don't go under my tower kind of thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to
yeah.
They can't run away.
Right. So it definitely would have benefited you to do that aggressively in this case because like you have a Spectre and a Brewmaster going in right now. I don't know if you get any kills, but you certainly set your team up for like a better chance of that. So I think it's worth it. Okay. It's fine.
This is my last urn charge. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it got refreshed. It's all good. Yeah, you're definitely being way too defensive here. That's a big problem. Like, okay. So part of this is from the camera control, right? Because you don't know where all the heroes are at all times.
Yeah.
But another thing is like, you just seem really scared, or seem really scared to die and like try to do damage. But your job as a core is to do damage. Like sometimes you're less responsible for doing a lot of damage. Like Slardar offlane, for example. Like his job is to control heroes. He's not there to like crush the enemy team. Invoker is to an extent too. Like he's there to do damage, but he's also like a big control hero. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is like you need to try to maximize your DPS in these fights. Like be just on the edge of where you're in danger, if that makes sense. So like, Tiny's blink range is 1200 and his combo range is like 1500. So you stand at 1600 units away from him. Or like when he uses combo like he does here, you can run back in and just keep doing damage that way. Basically, like just try to stay on the edge of dying and living, preferably on the living side, obviously. But yeah. And that way, like, you can be constantly doing damage, right? Like, if you were constantly hitting these guys here when Tiny uses his spells, like, if you're hitting him right now, you can probably kill him because you have an Urn Charge and you have Cold Snap, and then you also go get that Thing Blast. So like, this Tiny would probably die. And that would make a big difference, right? Like, that's the difference between you guys just completely losing.
Killing a Tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. Like, it's.
I was playing way too scared. Like on that fight, I just didn't want to die.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, like part of this is the camera control thing. Like if you're not looking at these heroes, how are you supposed to know where they are? Like you can look at the minimap, that's great, but it's not as good.
Yeah. That's a huge point, is my camera control. That's something I wouldn't even think about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like
Dire's bottom tower has
the only way I can or the only analogy I can make is like you wouldn't talk about a soccer player's like eye control or whatever, or like what he's looking at on the fields. You do like to an extent when he's like when the coach sees a kid like looking at his feet or whatever when he's dribbling, but there aren't many comparisons in real life because like we're not limited so much by vision as we are in this game. Like since Dota is a limited information game, like you don't know what's going on in the fog of war, and like you're limited like physically by like the square around your screen. You can't see out of this except for when you move. It's really important that you get better at just like looking around and gathering stuff or gathering information that way.
Yeah. I'll try to focus on that. Like just play a few games, just focus on camera control and try to focus on creeps in the mid lane or Rebel lane. I mean.
Yeah. Do you have an alt account or like a Smurf or anything like that?
Okay. I have a shitload.
Yeah, I recommend doing that. Like not for the purpose of like recalibrating your MMR or whatever. It's like so you can specifically focus on these things with no pressure. Because like if you're a 4K player, it's nice to play against people that are worse than you. If you're focusing on something that's like something you're not used to, it's like if you're focusing on looking at creeps in mid, like you're gonna be missing out on so much other shit as well. So if you're gonna focus on that specifically, and the camera control stuff, I recommend playing on your alt a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is just playing on my main ranked. Once you start losing, that's when I go on tilt.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like care about my Smurfs, obviously, because they're Smurfs.
Right. Yeah, definitely like still try your hardest on your Smurfs. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah. I just mean like less tilting.
Right.
Unless I already tilted from earlier from main.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a whole nother topic. We could talk about that for days. So instead of watching the rest of this, because I think like we've covered like so much useful stuff already, what do you know what causes your tilt? Like, are you someone who cares a lot about MMR?
I'd say at the start of the day, yeah, and then once I lose once, it's just like, oh fuck it, dude, I don't really give a shit, and it's just throwing after throwing, picking stupid shit. Like if you look at my matches, just like terrible picks.
Okay. Well, first off, I don't think picks matter that much personally. For the reasons we talked about earlier with like the pushing thing. But
that's a good point.
Either way though, like I don't think you should care about it at all. You should really just take each game as like its own game. Like over time, if you just try your hardest and you are constantly like last hitting as much as you can, pushing as much as you can, you're gonna win more games than you lose. That's just how it works. Like that's how the MMR system works. As long as you're not like intentionally throwing and you're trying your hardest, you're gonna climb. And you've already been to 4,700. Like even though it was with Oracle or
I've been there like
whatever.
3 times.
Yeah.
First Oracle.
Yeah.
My first one was Meepo.
Oh, you're Meepo picker. Okay, so yeah, either way, like you clearly have.
Sorry.
Either way, like if you have the mechanics to do that, you're gonna be able to do it on the Invoker as well. Like you're not limited by mechanics clearly, so don't let yourself tilt and just like try your hardest in every game. It's like literally a waste of your time if you like let yourself tilt. So just think of it that way.
Yeah, it is. It's not enjoyable either. Like at the end of the day,
exactly.
you're not improving, you're not enjoying it. I shouldn't be like there's no point. Just switch.
Yeah.
Something else like smurfing or not even Dota.
Yeah, just go take a break. Like I don't know, go for a run or something, or like walk around. Stuff like that can be really helpful. It's like it's counterproductive to be playing when you're like so tilted that like you can't even try to win.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing. Okay, so it's totally different if you're tilting because like you made a bad play, right? Like that's a little different, and then you should just try to like get over that as best as you can, like in the game, because you still have a game to play. But if you're somebody who tilts because like your teammates suck or whatever, then definitely like try to stop that as best as you can.
Dire's middle
Yeah,
tower
and
is under attack.
two, like if it really gets to be a problem, just like reset for a little bit. Okay, so yeah, pretty much the main things that you should focus on in particular are like the creep things, like watching your creeps closely, and pushing. Just always default to pushing if you can.
Alright.
Not necessarily 5-man pushing either, just like pressuring, I guess. Pressure is a better word. Let's change that to pressure.
Alright. Also, camera control. Just focus on that. Like any tips on that, or just focus on it.
Don't be afraid to like go nuts, I guess. Like don't be afraid to just like click on anything you see. Like if you watch RTZ play or Eternal Envy or someone like that, their camera is always like dizzying. Like if you're not somebody who plays a lot of Dota and does this yourself, it's just like you're kind of thinking like, is this guy trying to show off? Like, does he think he's cool or something? Like, no, he's actually like looking at stuff and like looking for information and stuff like that. So definitely don't be afraid to just like do this kind of thing. Like just click around like this. Yeah, that's I guess my only tip for that. Also click on things. That's important too.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Sweet.
it. All right. Yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, like feel free to Skype me. I don't bite.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, dude. Good luck.
You too. Thanks.
Peace.